Right, so back with another one of these cartoons. So yeah, this one is the Sword of Camelot. So back on the original PlayStation. Now last year had been on PlayStation 2. But yeah, this one is just OG PlayStation. So yeah, back with Midas Interactive and all that. Now this one, oh no, Code Monkeys. Okay, so yeah, they're on the other one. So yeah, year 2000. So this is pretty late in PS1's life cycle. Not super late, but definitely one of the later ones. All right. So yeah, I think this one is based off of. I think it was it Fox Animation film? Yeah, Quest for Camelot. I actually, yeah, funny enough, I don't remember a damn thing from the film, but I remember I quite liked it. I honestly couldn't tell you. So yeah, it's a bit more simplistic, this one, back to the old one. Uh, Alright, let's see what we can get. Oh, there it goes. Oh, this one's quiet. Oh, we got live action.
You know who I am? No, never heard of me.
This is so
In
off the lip syncing.
dreams, everyone knew me. Merlin, the greatest magician of the Middle Ages.
I think I can faintly hear the original audio, like faintly.
Peasants, knights, kings, they all wanted me to help them. And usually I did. Unless I was planning some other great thing.
Somehow this is now worse because the lip syncing is to
Certainly
an actual live action video.
it happened in England.
I feel like there's more leeway with lip syncing when you use animation.
The empire needed a new ruler because the old king had just deceased. And because in my dreams the future is prophesied.
It's very bad enough I can't take it seriously with the bad lip
Not
syncing. This is just worse.
also, the Holy Grail would be found again. You will get to know later what the Holy Grail is. I am sure that
I feel like
after
this has just been taken for a completely different thing.
the castle of Camelot as the king's seat. Most
This
of
feels
the
like some kind of just like
knights agreed
random bit in a TV show they just slapped in here just to make it work.
because
What are the odds they didn't get the licensing for it either?
personal protection.
I mean, it sounds about right, doesn't it?
Great respect for me. But there was only one man who did not agree with it. His name is Mordred, a black knight.
Okay, we're going to animation yet? Ah, finally.
Come on, Merlin.
Arthur, you know I think that you want to fight against one of the best and strongest
Okay,
knights of England.
was that a dinosaur?
Well, I've decided to fight against him, and what a king decides upon, he shall keep.
And most of all, he has to hold himself back when things become dangerous. Well, what do you have to do?
Yeah, well, I'll give him at least props. He does look at least similar to the live action counterpart.
We are entering
That little dinosaur, I saw that in Dinosaur Adventure.
Afraid of him?
But it would be unlike a king if he forgot his royalty.
And somehow it looks
It is
less
now to defeat
bloody. It looks like it works even less in this than it did in Dinosaur Adventure. Is that a donkey? Oh yeah, that's a donkey.
Ah, look, Arthur personally. King by Merlin's mercy.
Stop offending me. Draw your sword, or are you a coward?
Coward? Do you believe that I have not enough courage to fight against such a little upstart? Perhaps you give me your sword immediately, then we can save a lot of time and I won't injure you, yeah.
Big mouth.
Well, then we'll do it as you like.
What happened to the sword? They're just javelin. Oh no, they missed. They missed again.
And so it went on for half a day, through and through, back and forth, to and fro. At a certain point, it seemed that Mordred was the stronger one, and Arthur seemed to win. By and by, the attacks became
This is so cool.
Their arms were much damaged, and they injured each other more and more, but neither of the two wanted to give up. Then,
Okay, so I guess this was filmed for this. So because at the very least, he matches the animated Merlin.
Stop, Mordred.
Oh no, stop.
I thought before. Without you, Arthur can't do anything.
Merlin, keep out of this. It's only something between Mordred and me.
He's right. There's an end now to playing the
Also, Arthur's got female voice actor. He went rainbow.
What have you done? If anybody hears that it was not me who defeated the Black Knight, that you killed him with your magic, everybody will laugh at me.
You just turned him gay.
Dear Arthur, first of all, Mordred is not dead but only unconscious, and secondly,
He's unconscious and gay.
if Merlin did not exist, then nobody could laugh at you because you would be stone dead, and England would be without a king again.
Merlin looks so... The voice actor for Merlin just seems so dumb.
Injured, he might have even fought against me because he was so insulted. But when he stood up, he
See, they clearly filmed this for this.
because of his pain. So I packed him on his horse and took him
Maybe this is... Because, again, this is made in Germany, so maybe this is
wounded knights.
the original German version.
There he lay.
And,
Between life
again, they still had to dub it, so...
and death.
Because they're too lazy, you know, do their own version. It's like, nah, I'll just dub this. This will be fine. As I said, the lipstick Odyssey looks worse on this case.
Who is that? Merlin, please tell me who that young woman was.
Her name is Guinevere. She is Prince Leo's daughter.
She is the most beautiful woman I have ever seen.
You know, that one can
Oh no, love at first sight.
I'll
Literally.
marry her as soon as I have defeated Mordred, but this time without your help.
Also without a sword.
I mean, back in those days, you're definitely more demanding about, it's like,
Fighting.
you, marry me.
That's right.
Okay.
But where
Are
shall
you
I find
rich?
a sword in
Yes.
this wilderness?
Goody.
I see. Now I'm suddenly the right man again. Well, come along with me, and I'll find a new sword for you.
Okay, so according to the blurb on the back, it's not just that Merlin is Arthur's mentor, apparently Arthur is Merlin's son. Yeah, son of Merlin and the witch Avalon.
You are not a mortal human being. You must be a fairy.
You are right, Arthur. I'm Morgana from Avalon, the country of the fairies of immortality. Why do you come to me?
My sword is broken, and a king without a sword is a bit strange. I would like to ask you for a new sword.
You know you could just get a smithy to get you a new sword.
It's a name, Excalibur. Go and fetch it.
Come on, Arthur.
So, no, we're not doing sword in the stone, we're just going to do sword on the lily pad. How do you get there?
Arthur was glad about the new sword. Like a king. I had almost forgotten that he was a king himself. Well, it was the
Yeah, you can
glorious
just hear
I've ever seen.
the voice. You can just hear his voice, like the original voice, not the dub.
No, Excalibur was a very special sword.
Like, it's hard to hear, but it's definitely there.
Until now. After Arthur had admired the sword again and again,
I would like to know what he's understanding. Unfortunately, I can't do lip sync.
He could not wait until he would challenge the Black Knight again. And everything happened. Just like the first time. Arthur knocked at the gate of the castle. Mordred turned up, and the two started to fight again. But this time...
I feel like what this guy's talking about isn't really matching what's actually being dubbed over.
Because against someone who owns the sword of Avalon, even the strongest man is powerless.
I gotta admit, like, there's been narrators in the other films, but this is probably the longest narration of all of them.
Not to fight against me again, and to accept me as the rightful king of England.
I promise. I invite you to my castle. Don't trust him. He has submitted to you too easily.
Forget that. Now he knows I'm the stronger one.
Do you really believe that? Don't you notice that you haven't a single scratch?
Why should I? I'm the better and braver of us both.
Nonsense, Arthur. It's the sword. Whoever owns Excalibur and fights with it is invincible.
Oh, there's your plot armor.
The young king was right.
Back to him again?
It was totally against his idea of chivalry to fight against someone using a magic sword. But after a while, he realized that it was not the worst thing to have a sword that made him invincible. Also, the Black Knight suspected that it was not a normal sword.
It'd be really funny if they just start reusing clips of this guy.
He wanted to have it by all means. So he offered Arthur...
I'm just wondering, it does look like they've painted his face a bit.
...to become a knight in Camelot. And because Arthur was young and inexperienced, he trusted his friendliness and took him as his knight. We had stayed in Camelot just for a few days when Arthur remembered the lady he had seen, Guinevere. So he sent me to ask her father for permission to marry her. That was the custom at the time. Guinevere didn't cause any problems. She was looking forward to becoming queen. I only had to...
I mean, most women would, I'd say.
About the dowry.
Just ask Princess Mary.
We could celebrate the marriage. After the wedding, I led Arthur into the hall of the castle.
Why do I get the feeling this is one of the last films they made?
Present for him.
Either that, or maybe they were just trying to experiment. Like, either they're trying to experiment by doing this sort of live-action animation hybrid.
Come here, Arthur.
Maybe they're inspired by other films that have done it before.
That's new.
The only other theory is that they were just so lazy that
That's quite nice, but
it was just easier to do
I've never had
that.
a round table before. Where should I sit as a king if there's no top seat?
But that is the reason why the table is round. All who sit around it should have the same rights. If you believe a knight deserves his merit, then ask him to be seated.
But at the moment, I don't know so many of them.
Don't be in too much of a rush. Select them carefully, and when the time is ripe, then they begin their search for the Holy Grail.
Well, now the Holy Grail gets pulled in.
I don't know anything about it.
That is the Holy Grail, which, if one believes in it, will feed the hungry and heal the ill. Yes, it is
Just
wonder.
Well, Merlin, the idea of the round table is not bad. Knights of the Round Table. It doesn't sound bad.
This is a real preppy arsehole, doesn't he?
Seat at the round table to his best friends. Also to the Black Knight. He refused to listen to my warnings. I accepted what he wanted, but I had to insist on one thing. 3 seats had to remain free. For I knew in the course of time, another 3 knights would turn.
He's really putting in everything for this acting performance.
Round table, famous in all eternity.
But yeah, I can't hear any of his actual voice. It'd probably be a lot better, even if I couldn't understand it.
Morgana.
Listen to me, Arthur. I have helped you for some time now. Today I would like to ask you something. Take Lancelot into your round table. I have educated him in Avalon, and I promise you he will honor you greatly.
I would like to fulfill any wish of yours. When Lancelot has proven that he is courageous and brave, he shall become a knight of the Round Table.
Here's someone who wants to test his courage.
I want to prove that I am a true knight of the Round Table.
You dirty beard, you want to fight against me?
Don't do it, Lancelot. He is too strong. I'm satisfied if you defeat a less dangerous enemy.
The king wants to make a coward of the knight of the Round Table?
I'm not a coward. I'll teach you a lesson.
Come on, big boy. Don't you carry a sword? We should have a little...
Well, it does look very ergonomical.
Just wait.
Those knee spikes and foot spikes. I feel like they'd be hitting against each other quite frequently. I feel like he should be dead.
It's your turn now, Lancelot.
Come on, hit me. I don't want you to show any compassion.
I only wanted to test you, to see how brave you are, yeah.
Lancelot, I think you are brave enough.
I feel like that was just... I think he just called it bluff.
Following years, Arthur and his knights of the Round Table became more and more famous. Arthur was a brave and just ruler. He always helped his friends, and because of his sword
There's a very show don't tell. Probably more than any of the others, because again, there's just...
This was a great blessing, because until then, every year...
I'd like to just go through the footage after this and try and figure out exactly how much of this film is this guy.
Really somebody who had never heard of King Arthur and his knights. No. In the forest of Nottingham, there where it was very dense, lived a princess with her son. A short time after the birth of her child, her husband had lost his life in a duel. And because she was afraid that the same might happen to her son, she withdrew into the forest and lived alone with him.
Sorry if I'm not saying anything, I'm just... There's just nothing to say. I'm just like, I'm just watching this guy just go at it and just spewing context.
He saw Lancelot riding through the forest.
Like, even when the narratives were animated, it's like, I feel like it was at least, you know, at least like, the things are happening. It's just this dude talking.
Why are you staring at me like that?
Beagle.
You're shining so much. Are you an angel?
I'm not an angel, definitely not.
Yeah.
I'm a knight.
A knight? Tell me
What was that Phantom Menace play acting?
Somebody who's looking for adventures and who serves his king.
Pretty sure Phantom Menace came out before this, so that's probably where they got it from.
That's a sword, my dear boy.
And I also want to be a knight.
If you want to be a knight, you silly boy, then go to Camelot. King Arthur will not hesitate a second to knight you.
Oh.
What, they just let any old schmo in?
Into his armor and carried on riding. And Percival ran as quickly as he could, and that was rather fast, to his mother and told her what had happened to him. She could not stop him from wanting to go to Camelot.
Why do I feel... Okay, I think this might actually be reused footage.
Well, his mother gave him an old rickety horse.
Oh no, maybe not. No, the
And made him
the messing with his shoulder probably was different.
from some cloth and tied together around some willow twigs. Oh dear, I tell you, Percival looked worse than the poorest beggar. And that is exactly what the mother wanted. She wanted him to be laughed at, and as quickly as possible to come back to her in the forest. And that was exactly what was done by people who saw him. Everybody laughed at him. But
Again,
Percival thought
I'd like to see this happen.
and laughed back. At last he came to Camelot.
And maybe someone else. Ah, here they are at it again. Alright, I appreciate him putting the sound effects of a knight walking. It actually did sound okay.
Oh, who's that coming there?
You should better ask what is coming there.
Oh, look how I drive him away. Come on, come on.
This is the design of the spikes.
Hurry up, Modric, go get
Oh,
me
Jesus.
drink.
Ugly stepsisters back
Bring
there.
me this. Mordred, bring me that. It goes on like that the whole day. I'm not your servant.
But I'm your queen, and you have.
Honestly, that's the closest he looks like a Black Knight.
Came to power with the help of Merlin's tricks, and he also got Excalibur from Merlin. Without his sword, he would be the greatest coward of all time.
You dare talk about King Arthur like that? Where is a knight who will take revenge for this offense?
Here, I'm a knight. I want to avenge King Arthur.
You? You are just good enough for a court jester. Be gone.
See, my pretty Guinevere? Only court jesters are ready to fight for Arthur.
I'm not a clown. Start fighting now.
If you want to lose your life, by all means.
He's demanding, isn't he?
Okay.
Just...
What is going on here?
He was offending you, my lord, so I was fighting him.
And you have won, I see. Only the way in which you did it was not in the manner of a knight.
No, but I have only come here because I want to be a knight.
So you have a few things to learn. What is your name?
Percival.
I like him. He's brave and strong, and it was my fault that Percival came here. Well, if you want, I'll tell you.
He's brave and strong. He's an idiot.
Become a knight.
I agree.
I mean, at least the Black Knight kind of got his revenge, but...
Everything had been planned like this by me. Because without Percival, the story would not have ended as I had seen it in my dream. Percival accompanied Lancelot, and already after a year he was better than his teacher. Now the time had come to start the search for the Holy Grail.
So is it, he's just getting a party together to find that stupid cup.
Even I didn't live on the earth at that time. The gods were infuriated by the people, and the Grail disappeared out of this world. In my dream I had seen that the Knights of the Round Table would get back the Grail. I prepared...
It'd be so funny if the guy who's doing this acting is like the head of Dingo Pictures.
Come here, Arthur. I want to show you something.
What is that?
Well, where's he off to?
Stop, Arthur. You may pull as much as you want. You will never do it.
And why not?
Because only somebody who has a good conscience can pull out the sword. Whoever is able to do that will find the Holy Grail.
It'll be Percival.
To try it.
Well, a good conscience. What do you mean by that? That one has never lied in one's life?
That's exactly what I mean.
If I think about it, I must say I don't need a new sword. I have the best sword in England after all. What's about Percival?
Not even white lies?
No, not even white lies.
No? Then I better not try it.
Lancelot?
I don't really know. Maybe not.
Oh, come on, at least someone try.
Do you really want to say that there's none among you who has never lied? What about Mordred?
Well, I'll show you.
No, he's lied, hoodles.
Your nights, I'll try it.
Yeah, of course he wouldn't do it. But like, it's kind of obvious he's a liar.
Come here, Galahad.
Galahad?
Who?
Yes, this young man will find the wonderful bowl.
He must prove it first. Come on, Galahad, pull the sword.
Oh, there you go. Who was he? He came out of nowhere.
Now and find the Holy Grail.
But you have told us only Galahad can find the wonderful bowl.
Yes, but he needs your support. Only Arthur must stay here so that England is without a king. This is the chance I've been waiting for. When all the knights of Camelot have disappeared, I will succeed in getting the sword Excalibur in my possession. A few days later...
So why is Merlin... So Merlin's planned all this from the beginning.
And everybody had a lot of adventures. Galahad as well.
It feels like they're setting him up to be like the surprise twisted villain.
And freed 12 innocent children. And wherever he turned up, he was admired by everyone. The Black Knight had managed to be injured after a few days fighting. Only lightly, of course. So he had a pretense to come back to King Arthur. But don't be afraid.
Again, it'd be nice if we could see this and not have to worry about being told all this.
He had learned to listen to me. After many months, Galahad came to the coast. When at a bay...
I'm sure that close-up of his hands is important.
He was surprised to see
his hands just doing nothing.
Both were totally exhausted, and what was even worse for them, without horses. They had lost them on their last adventure. Galahad, we've almost come to the end of our search. You two will find the Grail together with me.
Well, in our condition, we can't be of great help to you.
We've lost our horses, and we can't get on anymore.
Oh, it's that bitch again.
Galahad is right. You are the Knights of the Holy Grail. One will find it, one will watch it, and one will report it. Go on to this ship.
Find, watch, and report. What are they? Scholars of some kind?
Without a helmsman, without a crew, the ship sailed off with the 3 knights. And every day the table was set with the most delicious food. Lancelot and Percival were much too tired to be amazed at that. And Galahad, well, Galahad had always believed in miracles. After many days and nights, they at last...
I feel like this does not work. What? I wonder if maybe they've used clips that explain something else for... Like they've swapped the clips around of him sprucing context.
In full armor. If you've ever tried to run a long way in armor, you will know how difficult that is. But Galahad went in front of them like in a dream.
Yeah, I gotta admit, this lip syncing is somehow worse than when it is animated.
Soon they came to a cave, and although Percival and Lancelot were the bravest knights of their time, they now hesitated to follow Galahad. He had suddenly, without looking around once, disappeared into the cave.
Ah, here we go.
Lancelot, Percival, don't be afraid.
That sounds quite simple.
There's a big bloody bowl.
My task is done. I shall go to Avalon.
Oh, that's it.
Galahad has found the wonderful bowl. You, Percival, will be the Grail King from now on, as long as you are watching the bowl. Those who believe in it will not be starving, and when they are ill, they will be healed. You, Lancelot, have to go back and tell the world that the Holy Grail has been found.
Fun fact, I'm looking at the cover of this thing, and there's a dragon on it. I'm looking at the cover of this. Yeah, the cover of this game case. Yeah, it's got a dragon on it. Like, I have not seen a dragon yet, except for that little Ponzi green one.
On his way back, he later met the other knights of the Round Table together, and happy that their search was finished now, they sailed towards Camelot. At Camelot, hardly anyone believed that the Knights of the Table Round would ever find the Grail, and nobody believed that they...
So what happened to Black Knight and the... Oh, I think he got injured, didn't he? Yeah.
Arthur felt lonelier from day to day, and Mordred was sneaking around him with wicked thoughts and was waiting for a chance to steal the sword Excalibur.
Oh, there we go.
because I had warned Arthur. The Black Knight was waiting for his chance in vain.
So he doesn't get the sword after all.
Arthur, the Knights of the Round Table are coming back.
I can't believe that.
To hell with them!
Alright, so it's a
You
bowl.
know everything. Where are Percival and Galahad?
And while the knights...
Oh, come on. You couldn't let him talk for a bit?
I had taken the sword Excalibur with me. My dream wanted it to be that way. I had to bring the sword back to where Arthur had received it once. I had written Arthur a letter in which everything was explained. I gave the letter to a butler, put the sword under my coat, and went to the lake.
So he's just doing this because?
So my task was done now. I withdrew from the life on this earth, but to honor the truth, the task was done. And that was not the only reason. Even a magician can fall in love. And I had fallen in love with Morgana, and I wanted to be together with her and live in a different world.
I feel like there's a bit of an age difference there. Oh no, he lost his friend. And that was funny. Okay. There's both not much and a lot to unpack on that thing. But there's the most nothing story. The biggest problem I had is like, it was like tell, not show. It's like it was always just the blame narrator sprucing everything. Like I know there's been narrators in the other ones, but that was probably the most top heavy explaining of all these films. It's just so boring. It doesn't help that like they okay, on the one hand using a live action person, okay, at least that switches things up, but the fact that they were dubbing over his voice just made it so much worse. Like what do you like it just the lip syncing there is just non existent and it just does not help convey the story. Because it's very clearly this voice is not matching that dude who honestly seemed to be at least trying to, act. Yeah, that was just... It was just so boring because nothing happened. Alright, well, there's that. I mean, I check Notre Dame's, I guess, worse because it sort of dragged on longer. And I think the story is more insulting, but... Yeah, no, I think this is worse because it was so boring and, like, there was no... Like, again, just so much exposition and, like, not enough of just showing us what's going on. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that one, so... See you guys in the next one.